Alright, well, the maple tree from my dad has had an unfortunate accident. One of the cats tackled it and it snapped off. It snapped off fairly low. And so I went ahead and cut it off clean so that it can still survive. I think it'll still survive, but it's a little frustrating. Just tackled it for, well, they're kittens. I mean, they're still pretty young, but anyways, so I took the part from the top and I brought it over here. We have a maple tree in the front, a fairly mature maple tree in the front, and so I cut a branch off. You can see it here. This is the branch I cut off. And then I took, so I don't know how to do normal grafting. I think you have to have closer to the same size, but I figured I could, there's a technique where you sort of separate the outer part here, right at that intersection, right at that delineation, where you can see the difference between the inside and the outside. You separate it there, and then you put a small twig, if it'll focus, you put a small twig, you jam it into there, you cut the twig and you make it real clean, like an angle, and real clean cut, and you put it in, and then you slide it into, oh, this is not looking good, it looks like it's at a weird angle, but you slide it into that space, and then it can graft. Sometimes it can graft and it can grow off of that. So it's moving in a way that makes me think that it's slipped out of position, like it's just, yeah. So that's not good. Oh, it's not focusing. It's not wanting to focus on the right thing. There we go. So yeah, that's not looking good. I was trying to graft it onto here to see if we could keep that piece alive, but it might be a waste. You can see where the stuff is separated there, if it'll focus right. You can see it there, where it's separated. And I had that jammed in there. It didn't stay in there. That's not a good sign. The bark kept trying to kind of split down. It didn't want to separate cleanly. It wanted to split into pieces. So this one may not take. I'm going to jam that back in there. At least give it a chance, but that's not looking good. All right, well, awesome. That's just great. But anyway, that's an update with that. I also got two of our trees. So last summer we bought several trees at a local nursery. It's one, if you go all the way into town, it's a nice nursery. It's real big. They've got a lot of different stuff, really nice stuff. They're really expensive, but they also have a really good warranty where the trees and some of the perennials and a couple of things, they have a year. If it dies in that year, they'll replace it. Well, the trees that we bought last year, two of them didn't make it. And so I had called them a month or two ago, and they said to wait, give it a little more time, see if they put out leaves. And they never did. So I went over there yesterday, and then again today I brought the truck over to pick them up. And they did replace the two trees. It was the bald cypress and the weeping cherry blossom tree that didn't make it. Everything else made it. We bought the willow at the same time, the apple trees. All of those are growing happily. It's just the two trees that didn't make it. I actually went over there yesterday. I drove over and I stopped by because they have cypresses on their property. And I wanted to see, you know, are they putting out leaves or should I be giving it more time and be patient? And they definitely were all happily putting out leaves. And I took pictures of my two trees and I brought them in and they replaced them. So I have the two new trees that I need to get in the ground. Here's the replacement cypress. That one over there, the dead looking one there, that was the original one. It just, I don't know, it just never came back after the winter. I also, while I was there picking up the two trees, I ended up buying couple of different things. My daughter wanted to get some spicy peppers, so we got ghost peppers and scorpion peppers. They were both in the spicy section. I've not heard of the scorpions before. I know the ghost peppers are supposed to be like the hottest natural thing or whatever, so we'll see. We're gonna grow them. Hopefully we get some nice spicy peppers. I can watch my daughter cry tears of misery after eating them because she's bound and determined to do it. I also bought this cherry bush. So it's not a tree, it's a bush, and it produces sweet cherries. So I'm thinking about putting this close to the house because with trees you can't get them that close, but with a bush you can put it a little closer to the house. So that seems like it might be a good place for it. I'll figure out where to put it. The peppers, they're gonna go into the garden. This guy, I'm actually thinking instead of putting it out there, I was actually thinking about putting it over here, kind of at the end of the driveway. So this one will probably be a little closer to the house, closer to the driveway. And that'll give me more space if I do end up building the greenhouse out this way. That'll give me more space for that greenhouse and or a pond if I do put in a pond, which I still haven't decided on. The other one is the weeping cherry blossom tree. The weeping cherry blossom tree is over here. And you can see the original one, the one we put in last year, just dead. It did actually put out a couple leaves off of this stem here. The whatever they use, you can see they grafted here. These are where the weeping cherry branches come off. And then it grafted onto something else. And then that actually put out a couple leaves and then they died. And then you can see they grafted something else for the rootstock. So there's, I think, 3 different types of trees here. But they're just really pretty trees. We were there, and I think they were like blooming or something. Anyways, we had not intended to buy it. It was an impulse buy. But it didn't make it. So we've got our new one here. We're going to make sure to water these trees really well. It sounds like with the cypress, you really can't overwater them. So we're going to be, especially that one, we're going to be giving it tons and tons of water to make sure it does really well because we don't want to have issues again. So anyway, that's the stuff I got right now going on with the trees and whatnot. And I'll probably go ahead. I set up the stand. I figured y'all could hang out while I'm digging holes. I don't know if digging holes is that interesting, but I do know that the ambiance, the birds and the, bugs and even the cars driving by and stuff, it makes for a nice kind of background noise. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I kind of like it. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and set this up here. I already started digging the hole. You can see I started digging it over here. Finished digging that hole, get this down into the ground, and then I'm going to go get the bald cypress in the ground next, and then I will put the cherry bush. I still haven't figured out where I'm going to put that one, but I'll figure that out, and I will get that in the ground today too. So anyway, feel free to hang out if you want to watch me digging holes. Digging holes, yay!